In this video, we discuss the role of simultaneity in deciding the orientation of the space axis of a moving frame in a space-time diagram. Hello and welcome to Physics Next Book. We are currently making videos on certain key aspects of special relativity that often goes unnoticed in mainstream discussions. If you're thinking, drawing the space axis is trivial, you won't be totally wrong. The space axis of the rest frame, that is your frame, if you happen to be drawing the diagram, is just a horizontal line. Indeed trivial, and that is because it is a convention to draw it so. We have been drawing the space axis since our school days and never gave it a second thought. So why not just leave it at that? Why go into all this complicacy of simultaneous events and all? Well, because sometimes in your space-time diagram, apart from the space and time axis of your rest frame, you may need to draw those of a moving inertial frame. The time axis of the moving frame is the world line of whatever moving object that you are studying, but the space axis of the moving frame is rather non-trivial and needs way more attention. And there, the concept of simultaneous events comes in handy. So here is what we are going to do in this video. We already know that space axis is a collection of events simultaneous with the origin, and we also know where the space axis of our rest frame lies. It's the horizontal one, right? So we check if events appearing to us to be simultaneous with the origin actually line up along the horizontal direction. For that, we need to figure out a way to identify the simultaneous events without referring to the space axis. Once we are done, we shall use this technique to identify events that appear to be simultaneous with the origin but to the moving frame observer. And together, these events will indicate the orientation of the space axis of the moving frame. So let us first learn to identify simultaneous events in a given frame. Knowing how an observer assigns time coordinate to any event comes in handy in this regard. Look up the details in our last video, link is in the description as usual, but let me just state the result here. If a photon emitted by the observer at time instant tau e is reflected at an event B and received back by him at time instant tau r, all according to his clock, and further, if his clock reads tau 0 at the origin of his time axis, then the time coordinate Tb of that event B will be tau r plus tau e divided by 2 minus tau 0. That is how the observer can uniquely assign time coordinate to any event only using his clock reading. For our purpose, we need to window dress this expression a little and rewrite it as the difference between two time intervals, one from the emission event to the origin and the other from the origin to the reception event. Now let's talk simultaneity. If the event B happened to be simultaneous with the origin in the rest frame, then Tb, the time coordinate of B, should be 0, obviously. So equating the expression for Tb to 0 gives us the condition for simultaneity with the origin. Let us state this mathematical condition as a physical one. If the time intervals between emission to origin and origin to reception are of the same size, then event B reflecting the light beam is simultaneous with O, the origin. So to find events simultaneous with the origin from our perspective, we identify on our S0 frame time axis pairs of photon emission reception events that are evenly spaced across the origin. For these pairs, we draw outgoing light paths starting from the emission event and incoming light paths arriving at the reception event. These are the usual photon world lines which are always at 45 degrees with the time axis of the rest frame. For each emission reception event pair, where the outgoing light path meets the incoming one, lies the event reflecting the corresponding light beam. These events are simultaneous to the origin from the point of view of us rest frame observers. If we collect all of them, indeed the well-known horizontal space axis of our rest frame emerges. So we now have a way to identify events simultaneous with the origin and have verified that they do generate the space axis for our rest frame S0. The question is, can we use this for a moving frame? Sure we can, because any inertial frame is a rest frame for its own set of observers, right? So any inertial observer can use our prescription to identify events simultaneous to the origin of his frame. Let's see how that looks in our space-time diagram. The time axis of some inertial frame S' moving uniformly with velocity v relative to us is at an angle tan inverse v by c with the time axis of our frame S0. S' frame's origin can be anywhere on its time axis, but it is customary to keep the origins of S' and S0 coincident, that is on top of one another, so we do that. Now we need to find the events that are simultaneous to the origin from the S' frame's perspective. So we identify pairs of emission and reception events that are evenly spaced across the origin on the time axis of S'. Again, we draw outgoing light paths starting from the emission event and incoming light paths arriving at the reception event for each of these pairs. Notice that all this is still being drawn in our spacetime diagram, that is in the S0 frame, so the light paths are still 45-degree lines with respect to S0 frame's time axis, not the S' frame's time axis. The intersection of outgoing and incoming light paths for a given pair indicates an event simultaneous with the origin of S'. Collectively, they generate the space axis of the S' frame. So this is how we figure out where to draw the space axis of a moving frame in our spacetime diagram. The take-home message in this video is first the technique to find simultaneous events using only the observer's clock reading, and second, to use these simultaneous events to figure out the orientation of the corresponding space axis. But can't we do it the other way around? That is, identify simultaneous events for a frame using its space axis? That would be so much easier. Sure you can, but only if you know the direction of the space axis of that frame to begin with, and that is known only for our own frame, aka the rest frame. It is not known for the moving frame usually, and therefore all this song and dance about the simultaneous events is sort of necessary. So that's it for this video. Hit the like button if you have found it useful, and check out the video on the right to find out how an observer assigns space and time coordinates to an event. The video on the left elaborates something so basic that nobody ever mentions it in a relativity textbook. Try it and see for yourself. Thanks for your time, and let's meet on the next video. Bye bye.